Well, it is now 5:15 on Wednesday, and we have slip lines at Wrac'h, which is just below us there. The sun is yet to come up, but it looks like it's going to be quite a show when it does. Carol's very busy getting all the fenders and lines away.
Ooh,
Nearly there, and we are on course for the Chenal de Four, along with I think about 4 other vessels that all seem to slip lines at very similar times. So we're in a little trail of people going out. Again, I think we're going to get left behind because we're probably going to do the safe route out, where lots of these guys are probably going to do the trickier coastal hop, which, you know, is for another day for us. But anyway, so look at where we are. So there we are, just coming down the river. There's our course. We're going to try and avoid this inshore passage, which is a shortcut, so we're going to go around the outside. Let's bring us down to the entrance of the Chenal 4. So there's the Le Four lighthouse there, and there you are. So passage is 27.5 miles, 4.5 hours, but that is only to the bay. Beyond that, we've got to get to Camaret. But that's where we are at the moment at 5:16. Right, it's 5:42 now. We're practically leaving the river. The sun is above the horizon. Carol is helming away. We're on track. We're still following a gaggle of yachts, so 2 yachts and a sort of an old gaffer type boat. Yeah, I mean the one on the far left with the main up, I don't know if you can see him. I think they made a mistake. They headed for that cardinal, and there's a lot of rocks in there, so they've come back out again and they're joining the party. Always a good idea, never to follow anybody else. Always follow your own plan and be happy with what you're doing, and everybody else can be Einstein, but sometimes even Einstein makes mistakes. It's looking lovely, bit misty, quite a lot of dew on the deck, so I hope we don't have too much or any fog, but there is some mist out there at the moment. Hopefully the sun, which is really going to be warm today, will burn that off quite quickly. Well, an update from good ship Clemency. As you can see, we are now in fog, proper fog. Yeah. We're still on track. We've got a radar on. We've got contact at about 11 o'clock, which is that wooden gaff rig ship out there. And we've got a contact appearing every now and again in front of us, which is the yacht that we were following. And then we've got a contact out sort of on that quarter, which is a new contact. So nothing much on AIS. So our friends that went off to do the inner passage, they're either really in a tricky situation now, or closer inland there isn't some fog, and this fog is actually out offshore. So let's see. But the sun's come up. There is a bit of wind. We're at 11 knots of wind. So hopefully as the sun warms up and the wind blows, this will blow away. A bit of morning fog. But we're on track and everything's looking reasonable at the moment. Well, update from our passage, it's still foggy, very foggy. There is a gaff rig cutter out there, but I don't know if you can see it. appears every now and again. She's that little dot there. We're coming up to one of our waypoint changes. So at the moment, according to radar, we've got nothing in front of us. We're on track. Other than the fact there's not much visibility and we've got to keep our eyes open, it's okay, but not great. So the time is now 8 o'clock and we are now in the Chenal channel proper. As you can see, there's on the chart, Carol's just clicked on. We're just coming up to the first lateral markers, green and reds. We're on our rolling road, everything's cool, wind is about 8 knots on our beam, but that's what we see. Absolutely nothing. At the moment we're on radar, we got an AIS contact behind us and we've got a couple of contacts appearing around us every now and again. We have come up, there's one really close now, around about 10 o'clock, Carol. Keep an eye out at 10 o'clock, you might see something off the bow. So there's something appearing quite close. Oh, sorry. Well, it's 9:15 UK time, 10:15 French time. The fog has lifted. And it's turned into a glorious morning, the morning that we expected. Surrounded by other boats that are obviously quite close to us most of the time. We've just come around the corner of the Chenal de Fort and we're now in the Bay of Brest. This is the furthest south me and Carol have sailed on Clemency, and it's very exciting. Feels warmer, feels great. So we're now going to track along the edge of this piece of land and then we're going to hop across the water to Camaret, which again is probably still in sea mist at the moment. But yeah, it all went quite well. I mean, the fog created a bit of drama, but all the nav stuff that we have sorted us out and the radar worked well. We had one issue with the ship which signalled us by foghorn. We signalled back, then we changed direction and it all worked out really well. So, and we could see them on AIS, they could see us on AIS, so that was all good. Right, and that's it for now. So we are at 9:15. What a difference a few hours make. Absolutely gorgeous out here now. Decks are all dried off, the sun's warm, you can see the land. And also you don't feel alone because there's lots of other people out here as well. A couple of Brit boats. We're about 3 miles away from Camaret, just in the mist over in that way. Be nice to tie up and have a beer.